Chosen one, there are moments when the silence around you breaks, when the veil that has covered your eyes for so long finally begins to lift. This is such a moment. The hidden truth that has been circling you quietly, moving in shadows, waiting for the right time, is now being revealed. You have felt the pull, the whispers, the strange heaviness in your spirit, and you were right to sense it because something unseen has always been there, shaping your path, holding back clarity, testing your endurance. Now the curtain is tearing, and what was once hidden can no longer remain concealed. Stay until the end of this message, for truth is revealed in layers, and each layer carries its own weight. When you finish, write your warmest wishes and the number 777 in the comments. That act is not a ritual, but a declaration, a signal to the universe that you are ready for the clarity you have longed for, that you are aligned with the unveiling. This simple choice carries energy, and that energy will multiply, drawing more light into your path, making what was hidden visible and what was distorted clear. You may not realize how much has been concealed from you. The whispers behind closed doors, the intentions masked with false smiles, the opportunities twisted in silence. All of these were part of the hidden truth that shaped your life in ways you did not understand. For years you may have questioned yourself, wondering why certain things never made sense, why certain people seemed near but distant, why certain opportunities always slipped just beyond your reach. The truth was not absent, it was hidden. And when truth is hidden, confusion takes its place. Confusion is heavy, it distorts your vision. It makes you doubt what you know in your core. That's why this moment is so powerful, because truth is finally breaking through the fog. Hidden truth does not reveal itself gently. It comes with force, like a light breaking into a darkened room. At first it can be blinding, uncomfortable, even painful. You may resist it because truth does not always look the way you expected. It may not flatter you. It may not soothe you. But it will set you free. The weight you have carried from unanswered questions, the unease you felt but could not name, the suspicion that there was more than what you were told, all of this will finally find its resolution. Truth is arriving not to harm you, but to liberate you. Think of how many times you've felt a subtle warning in your spirit, but dismissed it because you lacked evidence. Those moments were not illusions, they were glimpses of what was hidden. And now those glimpses will become full clarity. What was whispered in darkness will be exposed to light. What was disguised as loyalty will reveal its true face. What was masked as coincidence will be recognized as intention. And as the truth comes into focus, you will finally see that you were never blind. You were only waiting for the appointed moment of revelation. This unveiling is not only about what others have hidden from you, it is also about what you have hidden from yourself. The fears you buried, the strengths you doubted, the dreams you silenced. All of these are truths waiting to be acknowledged. Sometimes the greatest revelation is not about others, but about you. The realization that you are stronger than you believed, wiser than you knew, and more prepared than you imagined. Hidden truth is as much about reclaiming yourself as it is about exposing what has been concealed around you. The danger of hidden truth is that it allows manipulation. When you cannot see clearly, others can shape your perception, guide your decisions, and limit your growth. That is why truth is powerful, because it gives you freedom to choose with clarity. And this moment, this unveiling, is the turning point where you no longer walk in the fog of half answers. You will stand in the clarity of full vision. It may shake you, it may anger you, it may even break your heart. But it will also strengthen you, because truth is always the foundation of freedom. Do not underestimate how formative this moment is. To finally see what was hidden is to reclaim your power. To recognize the truth is to remove the chains of deception. And once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you know, you cannot unknow. That is why this is sacred, because truth, once revealed, demands response. You cannot remain the same after it arrives. You must decide whether to step into alignment with it or to turn away and remain in the comfort of illusion. But comfort built on lies always collapses. Only truth endures. So stand strong. Let the light of this unveiling feel heavy, because its weight is not meant to crush you, it is meant to awaken you. What you do with this truth will shape the next chapter of your life. You can resist it, deny it, delay it, but you cannot erase it. It has been revealed, and now it belongs to you. The hidden is no longer hidden. The veiled is no longer veiled. The truth is here, and it is calling you to see, to rise, to step forward with eyes wide open. The unveiling of truth never happens at random. It comes at the appointed time, when the layers of deception can no longer hold, when your spirit has grown strong enough to face it, and when your path demands clarity. Until then, truth hides itself, not because it is weak, but because it knows timing is everything. To see too soon would have crushed you. To see too late would have cost you everything. But now is the balance, the perfect moment where your eyes are ready to open and your heart is ready to accept what is revealed. Many of the truths hidden from you were not buried in darkness by chance. They were placed there deliberately, often by people who feared what would happen if you saw clearly. Masks were worn, words were twisted, intentions were disguised, smiles were offered to hide motives, and closeness was feigned to conceal distance. And though you sensed something was not right, you lacked the evidence to prove it. That lack of clarity made you doubt yourself. But now the veil is lifting, and the confirmation you always needed is arriving. The truth was never absent. It was waiting for its moment. There is a reason why hidden truth is powerful. It protects those who manipulate, and it paralyzes those who are unaware. When you do not see clearly, you are easier to control. You can be persuaded, delayed, or diverted without resistance. But when truth breaks through, that control shatters. No lie can stand unchallenged in the presence of clarity. That is why truth feels so disruptive when it arrives. It rearranges everything. It demands new choices, new paths, new courage. And though it may destabilize the world you thought you knew, it also gives you freedom to walk into the world you were meant to create. Sometimes the hardest truths to accept are those that concern people closest to you. To discover that someone you trusted wore a mask can feel like betrayal, even devastation. But you must remember that their deception does not diminish your worth. It only exposes theirs. The hidden truth reveals who people really are, not who you wished they would be. And though the pain of that revelation can sting deeply, it is also liberating, because it allows you to stop investing in illusions. It frees you from carrying relationships built on lies. It gives you permission to choose alignment over attachment. The truth about situations will also come to light. What once looked like coincidence will be exposed as intention. What seemed like misfortune will reveal itself as protection. What felt like abandonment will be understood as redirection. The truth has a way of rewriting the story you thought you were living, showing you that what hurt you was often saving you, and what confused you was actually guiding you. When truth reveals itself, even your past begins to look different. The unanswered questions find resolution, and the silence you once resented becomes a teacher you can finally respect. But with truth comes responsibility. Once you see, you cannot pretend to be blind again. Once you know, you cannot unknow. This is why so many resist the unveiling. They fear the changes it demands. To live in truth requires courage, because it often asks you to let go of what you once clung to walk away from what you once accepted, to rise above what you once tolerated. It is not easy to choose clarity over comfort, but comfort built on illusion will always collapse. Only truth can stand the test of time. This is the invitation before you now, to embrace the clarity that has arrived, to let go of the masks, both in others and in yourself, to stop hiding from your own strength, your own fears, your own calling. Because truth is not only about what others kept from you, it is also about what you buried deep within yourself. The dreams you silenced, the power you underestimated, the wisdom you ignored. These too are part of the hidden truth that is being revealed today. And when you see them, when you finally accept that you are more than you believed, freedom will come. Freedom is the gift of truth. Not comfort, not ease, but freedom. The freedom to see clearly, to choose wisely, to live fully awake. It may come with pain, because the illusions you are releasing felt safe. But pain in the presence of truth is not destruction, it is rebirth. It is the tearing down of walls that once trapped you so that you can step into the wide open space of clarity. And once you are free, once you see, nothing and no one can ever control you again. This is the season of unveiling. The hidden is being exposed, the veiled is being lifted, and your eyes are being sharpened. The question is not whether the truth will come, it already has. The question is what you will do with it. Will you resist it and cling to illusions, or will you accept it and step into freedom? That choice is yours, and it will shape everything that follows. Truth does not reveal itself all at once. It comes in waves, in layers, peeling back one mask at a time, allowing you to see what was once hidden in fragments until you are strong enough to handle the full picture. At first, it may feel overwhelming. Each revelation carries weight, shaking your assumptions, forcing you to rethink the stories you told yourself. But as the layers continue to fall away, clarity replaces confusion. The world around you may look different, but what matters most is how you begin to see yourself with new eyes. There is a reason why hidden truths lingered for so long. They were not only external, they were internal. You were not yet ready to confront them. Deep within, you carried fears that silenced your voice, doubts that weakened your confidence, memories you tried to bury but could never fully escape. These inner truths were waiting for the right time, the right moment of unveiling. And now they are rising to the surface. This is not to harm you, but to liberate you from the chains of denial. Because denial, like deception, traps you in a false version of life. Only truth, however painful, can set you free. As you see more clearly, you begin to understand why your spirit was restless for so long. That restlessness was not weakness, it was warning. It was your deeper self crying out, sensing what your mind could not yet process. You knew things were not as they appeared. You felt the imbalance, the dissonance, the cracks in the illusion. And though you may have tried to silence that awareness, it never left you. Now the hidden truth confirms what you always suspected. You were not blind. You were waiting. There is both pain and relief in the unveiling. Pain because illusions often felt safer than clarity. Relief because the confusion that weighed you down finally dissolves. No longer do you have to guess at motives, question every silence, doubt your own intuition. The truth speaks with authority, and its voice silences the lies that once surrounded you. And while the truth may sting in the moment, it heals in the long run. Lies comfort temporarily, but destroy permanently. Truth wounds temporarily, but strengthens eternally. You will notice how the people around you respond to this unveiling. Some will fall away, unable to stand in the light of exposure. Others will resist, trying desperately to cling to the masks that protected them. And a few will remain, humbled by the truth, willing to walk with you in honesty. This is the refining power of revelation. It separates the false from the real, the temporary from the eternal, the illusion from the authentic. And though this separation may feel like loss, it is actually protection. It clears the path for you to move forward unburdened. But the most significant unveiling is not about others, it is about you. The hidden truths within yourself are now demanding attention, the talents you downplayed, the dreams you postponed, the courage you silenced. They are rising, insisting that you can no longer pretend they do not exist. These parts of you were hidden not because they were weak, but because they were powerful. Power often hides itself until the right time, because if revealed too early, it can be misused or crushed. But now the timing has aligned, and the truth of who you are is breaking through. The question now is what you will do with this truth. Seeing is not enough. Awareness without action becomes another form of delay. To know and not to act is to betray yourself. The hidden truths being revealed today are not merely for knowledge, they are for transformation. They require decisions, they demand courage. They ask you to stop shrinking, to stop pretending, to stop clinging to the safety of illusions. They invite you to step into the fullness of who you are, no matter how uncomfortable it feels at first. Understand this, truth is a mirror. It does not flatter, but it reflects. It shows you not only what you hope to see, but also what you tried to avoid. And yet in that reflection lies your freedom. Because once you see clearly, you no longer have to live in confusion. You no longer have to guess who you are, what you want, what you deserve. The truth affirms it. And once affirmed, it cannot be taken from you. This is why revelation feels both like an ending and a beginning. An ending because the illusions that once defined your life are collapsing. A beginning because a new life built on clarity is emerging. The hidden truth does not come to leave you empty. It comes to give you a foundation stronger than anything you had before. Illusions are fragile, but truth is unshakable. And now you have the chance to build your next chapter on something that will last. So let the unveiling continue. Let the masks fall. No matter how much they once comforted you, let the light expose what was hidden, even if it stings. Because this is not the destruction of your story, it is the rewriting of it. It is the moment you step out of the shadows of deception and into the power of clarity. And once you embrace it, you will never again be bound by lies, whether they came from others or from within yourself. Truth has a way of rewriting the story you thought you were living. Once hidden truths begin to surface, the past no longer looks the same. The memories you carried, the pain you endured, the questions you asked, all of them begin to shift under the light of revelation. What once seemed like coincidence reveals itself as intention. What once felt like betrayal becomes evidence of the masks others wore. What once confused you now becomes a map that points to clarity. Truth does not simply change the present, it reframes the past so you can walk into the future with clear eyes. Think of the relationships that shaped you. How many of them were built on illusions? How many words were spoken not out of honesty but out of manipulation? How many promises were offered as distractions, keeping you from recognizing the reality beneath them? When the truth arrives, these relationships are exposed for what they were. Some will crumble because they were never real to begin with. Others will stand firm because they were built on authenticity. Revelation separates what was genuine from what was false, and though this process may sting, it is also the greatest gift you can receive. There is a deep pain that comes with seeing betrayal clearly. It is one thing to suspect that someone wore a mask. It is another thing to watch the mask fall. The disappointment can be overwhelming because you invested time, energy, and trust into illusions. But do not confuse this pain with destruction. The truth does not come to leave you broken. It comes to free you from investing in what was never meant to last. Every moment you spent in deception was a lesson. And now those lessons become wisdom. You will no longer be fooled in the same way because your eyes have been sharpened. This sharpening is part of your transformation. What once tricked you cannot trick you again. Where once you tolerated lies, now you demand truth. Where once you settled for comfort, now you crave clarity. This shift is not small, it is life-altering. It changes the way you see people, opportunities, and even yourself. No longer will you allow others to define your reality for you. No longer will you silence the voice within that warns you when something feels wrong. Revelation has empowered you to trust your discernment, because now you know that your intuition was never wrong. It was waiting for confirmation. But the unveiling of truth is not only about exposing others, it is also about revealing your own resilience. When you look back with clarity, you see how strong you truly were. Even when you thought you were weak, you endured manipulation, confusion, disappointment, and yet you did not collapse. You kept walking, even in the fog. And now that the fog has lifted, you realize the strength you carried all along. That is part of the hidden truth too. the recognition that you were never as powerless as you believed. Truth also reveals alignment. Those who remain by your side after the masks have fallen are the ones who were meant to stay. They are not afraid of light because they have nothing to hide. They will walk with you in honesty, and together you will build something that lasts. This is the refining power of revelation. It removes the false so the true can remain. And though the process of letting go may feel painful, it clears the way for authentic connection and real growth. The challenge now is what you will do with the truth. You can ignore it, pretend not to see, and return to illusions for the sake of comfort. But deep down you know that comfort built on lies will collapse eventually, leaving you more broken than before. Or you can embrace the clarity even when it hurts and allow it to guide you into a stronger, freer future. This choice defines everything, because truth, once revealed, cannot be erased. It can only be accepted or denied. And denial is nothing more than a decision to remain trapped. Freedom lies in acceptance. To accept the truth is to allow yourself to be unchained from illusions. It is to let go of the need for false security and step into the wide, open space of authenticity. And while that space may feel uncertain at first, it is also alive with possibility. In truth, you can finally build something real, relationships, dreams, paths that will not collapse under the weight of lies. In truth, you can finally breathe without the heaviness of confusion. In truth, you can finally live fully awake, so let the truth do its work. Let it sting if it must. Let it disrupt what was fragile. Let it rewrite the story you thought you were living. Because only in the light of truth can you begin to build the story that was always meant to be yours. And once you have seen clearly, you will never again be satisfied with shadows. Once the truth reveals itself, there is no turning back. You cannot return to the comfort of illusions once your eyes have adjusted to the light. You cannot pretend that what you now see is not real. The unveiling of truth is irreversible, and that is why it feels so heavy. It reshapes everything, the way you see people, the way you interpret your past, the way you envision your future. This is the moment where you understand that you have crossed a threshold and there is no retreat. The only path is forward, into clarity, into freedom, into authenticity. The power of truth is not only in what it exposes, but in what it creates. With clarity comes new responsibility, because once you know, you must decide. You must decide who you will keep close and who you will release. You must decide which opportunities align with your vision and which were distractions. You must decide how to walk differently now that you are no longer bound by illusions. And though these decisions may be difficult, they are also empowering. They are the choices of someone who sees clearly, who no longer bows to manipulation, who refuses to waste another moment on shadows. Think about the weight of the years you spent waiting for clarity. The sleepless nights filled with questions, the heavy days clouded by suspicion, the cycles of doubt that left you weary, all of that is ending now. The truth has arrived, and with it comes release. The chains of confusion are broken, and in their place is direction. You are no longer stumbling in the dark. You are walking with vision, and vision changes everything. Vision gives you courage to step into new spaces. Vision gives you wisdom to avoid old traps. Vision gives you strength to endure because you know what you are fighting for. But vision also comes with loss. When truth exposes what was false, you cannot carry it with you. The masks fall, the illusions shatter, and you are left with choices you did not expect to make. Some people will no longer walk with you, not because you pushed them away, but because the truth separated them. This can be painful, but it is also necessary. You are not meant to carry deception into your future. You are meant to carry authenticity, and those who cannot stand in the light of truth will naturally fall into the shadows they chose. What matters most is how you respond. Some run from truth, choosing denial because it feels safer than clarity. But denial is a prison. It locks you into patterns that never change. Others embrace truth reluctantly but never act on it, choosing awareness without transformation. But awareness without action is another form of hesitation, and it leads to the same regret as ignorance. The only way forward is to fully embrace the truth, even when it costs you, even when it stretches you, even when it asks you to become someone you have never been before. You may feel fear in this process, because stepping into clarity means stepping into the unknown. But remember, the unknown is not empty. It is alive with potential. It is the space where new paths form, where new connections arise, where new strength emerges. The unknown in the presence of truth is not danger, it is destiny. It is the place where your story expands beyond the limits that deception once placed on it. Think of how different your life will be when you walk fully awake, no longer questioning motives in the dark, no longer doubting your intuition, no longer investing in false attachments. Instead, you will move with confidence, building on solid ground, choosing with clarity, living with purpose. This is the gift of truth. It allows you to stop wasting time on what was never real and start investing in what will last. There is also a deeper truth being revealed, not just about others, not just about situations, but about you. You are stronger than you realized. You are wiser than you gave yourself credit for. You are more prepared than you thought. The unveiling of hidden truth is also the unveiling of your hidden self. The version of you that endured, that waited, that listened, that sensed even when you could not see. That version is now rising. And once it rises, it cannot be buried again. This is your turning point, the moment where hidden truth becomes revealed truth, and revealed truth becomes lived truth. You cannot control what has been exposed, but you can control how you respond to it. And your response will define the next chapter of your life. Will you resist and cling to illusions, or will you accept and walk in freedom? Will you allow fear to silence you, or will you let courage guide you? The choice is yours, but the truth will not wait forever. It is here now, demanding acknowledgement, asking for action, inviting transformation. So take this unveiling seriously. Do not minimize it. Do not delay your response. The truth it has chosen you to see it. That alone is a gift. Honor it by stepping boldly into what it reveals. Because once you live in truth, you will never again be satisfied with lies. The journey through layers of hidden truth has brought you here to a moment of clarity that cannot be undone. Everything you once questioned has now been answered. Everything you once feared has now been faced, and everything you once doubted has now been confirmed. This is no longer about waiting for revelation. It has already arrived. The light has touched every shadow, and what was concealed has been uncovered. You are no longer bound by illusions, and that alone changes everything. It may feel strange to stand in this space because freedom can be overwhelming after so many years of chains. The silence that once frightened you now feels alive, filled with possibility. The empty spaces left behind by broken masks are not losses, they are openings. Openings for new voices, new paths, new strength to rise. What seemed like the end is really a beginning, and though it comes with a mixture of grief and excitement, it is the exact place you were always meant to arrive. You have learned the hardest truth of all, that you cannot carry everyone with you, and you cannot cling to illusions if you want to step into destiny. There will always be those who prefer the shadows, who resist the light, who cling to comfort over clarity. But you are not them. You have chosen the harder road, the road of awareness, the road of authenticity. And while it may be narrower, it is also stronger. It will not crumble beneath you because it is built on truth, and truth endures. This unveiling has also shown you yourself, the strength you underestimated, the wisdom you ignored, the resilience you forgot. All of it has risen to the surface. You are not who you were before this began. You are sharper, braver, freer. You carry scars, but they are not weaknesses. They are proof of survival. They are reminders that deception could not destroy you, and that clarity has made you stronger than ever. This is not just the end of deception. It is the beginning of destiny. The unveiling was never to destroy you. It was to release you. And now that you are free, you will walk forward with eyes unclouded, spirit unshaken, and purpose undeniable.